Welcome back to my new series on creative patching with the Alan Strange book. Last week we took an introductory look at the opening chapters of the book, and this week we'll delve deeper into chapters 5 and 6 as we explore more exciting, stranger synthings. In chapter 5, Alan gives us an in-depth look at the concept of voltage control, differentiating between fixed offset voltages and dynamically moving variable control voltages. Alan Strange gives us detailed examples of both as they control various parameters. The book then delves into an in-depth look at control voltage processing, such as attenuation, inversion, quantization, integration, and multiplication. Lots of great illustrations and examples help the reader understand what's going on when we create patches that are modulating the modulator, so to speak, or when we're processing control voltages that then go on to modulate parameters. On page 43, Alan states his 4 all-important theorems of voltage control. Chapter 6 introduces the concept of control voltage sources. The text gives a number of good examples of modules and circuitry that can be used as control voltage sources in a modular system. On page 52, Alan introduces the joystick as a control voltage source. These are still popular, and I use them in a lot of my patches. Let's reconstruct Alan's joystick patch on page 52. Here's my dope for joystick, and I'm patching the blue wire from the y-axis out to the frequency input of a dope for oscillator. And then the yellow wire is patched to a VCA that controls the volume of that oscillator. Moving the joystick straight up and down in the y-axis changes the frequency of the dope for oscillator. And moving the joystick side to side across the x-axis changes the gain of the VCA controlling its volume. Alan points out that it's important to bias the VCA open so that the negative voltage from the joystick will close it down to 0. If I move diagonally across the 2 axes, then I get quiet high frequencies and loud low frequencies. And moving in the other direction, I get the opposite. Now my high frequencies are louder and my low frequencies are quieter. Let's take a minute to make some changes to this patch to see if we can get it to do more. So now I'm going to patch the joystick output's y-axis through a dope for quantizer before I head into the oscillator. The red patch cable runs from the dope for quantizer into the 1 volt per octave input on my dope for oscillator. My dope for oscillator is passing through a wave folder just to brighten it up a little bit. Now let's hear what the joystick does. Now, as I move the joystick up and down in the y-axis, I'm hearing separate musical pitches being quantized by the dope for quantizer. Moving the joystick side to side across the x-axis still controls the gain of the VCA. So this creates a kind of a weird little musical instrument that I control with my finger. You can see that I'm biasing the joystick voltages up to take advantage of the full range coming out of the quantizer. Now, I'm going to take the yellow patch cable, and instead of going into the VCA, I'm going to go into the folding amount on my IntelliGel wave folder. Now I just need to bias the offset of the wave folder and the voltage coming out of the joystick to make sure that I've got full control of the range of the joystick. And then, as I move the joystick across the x-axis, I get a change in timbre, and as I move it across the y-axis, I get a change in pitch. Well, this is certainly great fun, but let's see if we can't kick it up a notch by changing up our patch a little bit. On this same page, Alan Strange makes reference to a joystick with a Z-axis that he's using to control a third parameter in his patch. So I don't have anything quite like that, but I may have something even better, and I'm just going to take a moment to patch that in. So now what I've got running is a Mickey Delph Wii controller module, and I'm running 4 outputs: the yellow, the blue, the gray, and the pink. They're coming from the Wii handset, and I'm using them to control 4 different parameters of our patch. On the very top of the Wii controller is a little miniature thumb-controlled joystick. I've got the X and Y axis of that joystick patched into various CV inputs on a Grendel format filter. I've got the X, or side-to-side axis, of the Wii controller's tilt patched to the wave folder CV input. And then finally, I've got the Y-axis of the Wii controller's tilt function patched to the CV input of the quantizer, driving the pitch of the oscillator. So now I'm using 4 separate axes of joystick to control multiple parameters of this patch. I'm controlling the quantized pitch and multiple parameters of timbre. So while I'm wailing away on my new joystick instrument, let's slip in some backing tracks to see what it sounds like. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider joining my Patreon and join me next time as we explore more Stranger Synthings.